Xhaka's Arsenal teammates overshadowed his message to Arteta. When Granit Xhaka suffered a medial knee ligament injury in the North London derby, Mikel Arteta gave a noticeably optimistic verdict on the midfielder's recovery. "I'm sure that if you tell him 3 months, he will be thinking 2, Arteta said of the Swiss international in October after the injury put a dampener on an otherwise impressive derby victory. "He will be trying to do extra work to try to minimize that time, that's for sure." Some may have had their doubts about the recovery time given the extent of the injury, and the manager may have been speaking partly in hope rather than expectation. However, on an otherwise forgettable Premier League defeat at Everton, Xhaka's comfortable performance in his first game back gave the Gunners a timely boost. How important is Granit Xhaka's return to Arsenal? Have your say in the comments section. Xhaka's form in the early part of the season led some to question the decision to hand the 29-year-old a new deal over the summer when there was transfer interest from Roma. His red card in the loss to Manchester City stood out as one of just a number of moments where he has taken one step forward followed by 2 steps back. As such, no one will be getting carried away with the performance against Everton, which was solid, if unspectacular from the midfielder, but it remains a platform on which to build while question marks remain elsewhere in the squad. If you asked an outside observer to identify which of Arsenal's midfielders was making a first appearance in more than 2 months, you'd have had plenty of people suggest Thomas Partey was the man in question. The former Atletico Madrid man failed to find much of a rhythm in the middle of the park, struggling to gel with his colleagues in red. Xhaka, in contrast, put in a calm and uncomplicated performance and even played a part in the build-up to Martin Odegaard's opener for the Gunners. His display may have been overshadowed by the end result and a poor collective performance, but Xhaka sent a message to Arteta that he is ready to be relied upon once more. Equally important was the ability of the former captain to complete a full 90 minutes on his return, as that is something he will be required to do a lot in the coming weeks. While there have been some question marks over Arteta's attacking preferences, with Alexander Lacazette and Edin Nketiah continuing to get minutes despite contract uncertainty, the message on Monday was that when Xhaka is anything close to 100% he will start. The former Borussia Mönchengladbach man hadn't even made it onto the bench in the weeks since his injury, but completed a full 90 at the first time of asking and avoided picking up a second yellow card. He might have been eased back in if Emile Smith-Rowe was available, but the fact remains he was able to return earlier than expected and not look out of place. With Partey and Mohamed Elneny expected to travel to the Africa Cup of Nations, Xhaka will need to step up as the senior midfield partner more than ever, and his performance at Everton will encourage Arteta in that regard. There were other frustrations, of course, with misses from Nketiah and Aubameyang proving costly, and Lacazette struggling to compose himself against opponents who were coming into the game off the back of just 1 clean sheet in their previous 8 games. It will be hard to view the defeat as anything other than a disappointment, especially considering the timing of Everton's winner, but Xhaka has emphasized why Arteta fought hard to keep him at the club when a summer exit looked to be on the cards. After showing he can be